Peeps, what is the beef? Cam here. Welcome to an episode of the Chef Fit Show. And on today's episode, guys, we have got Paul Brown. So Paul's one of the guys who's been in Chef Fit since January, and a pretty extraordinary journey from then to now. So what we're going to do is we're going to share his story, and we're going to get a sense of what has worked and why that has worked. So, Paul, welcome on, buddy.
Right.
Just give us first off a bit of background on yourself, dude. Like, how long have you been a chef, and what was your situation coming into Chef Fit?
All right. Been a chef for about 14 years. Situation coming into Chef Fit is, I think I was a bit run down and knackered. I used to do a lot of sports. Used to do a lot of CrossFit. Used to try and compete a lot. And also work all the long hours. And at one point or another, it was working really well for me. And then a bit of injury struck, and next thing you know, you kind of dive into work more. Not doing as much working out. And I think after it's probably only about 3 or 4 years of just not really working out, just started getting me down a bit. Really,
Yeah.
The physical, the mental started going on a bit of a spiral downwards.
Totally.
Low energy, lots of coffees, Red Bulls, bad eating habits. Not really eating. When I was eating, it'd be a bad choice. It wouldn't be a good choice. It'd be, processed foods, easy to grab.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be anything fresh.
And where does that leave you? Like, when you're saying that was the lifestyle and that was the pattern you fell into, like where were you at mentally then as a result?
Mentally I was in the dumps. I was in the dumps mentally. I just thought straight away, it's like, right, well, I want to get back to the gym this week. But when you're mentally in the dumps, you're like, then it comes to actually going to the gym, you're like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't have the energy. I don't have the know-how anymore. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to look crap. You don't know where to start. You just need a kickstart, and you just can't get that when you're so down.
Yeah, and the negativity does have a tendency to take over.
Yeah.
So, man, what I'd want to know here, and for everyone else watching this, like when you started out, obviously, it was a tough first couple of weeks, but just talk to us about what the journey has been like for you from start to finish. Like, what have you learned about yourself, and what has improved in your life? Like, talk to us about the journey from the start.
Well, from the start, from the get-go, it basically, from watching your videos and things like that, and from the intro week, you kind of learn a bit of organization around it. You have to get the work done. You have to do it. Just get it done. If you turn up and get it done, you can get results. And it's with every aspect of it. So meal prepping, that's a big one. If your meals are prepped, you're sorted for the week. It's easy to eat clean then. And then when it's easy to eat clean, it's easy to have a clear head, clear thoughts. It's easy to get to the gym. It's easier for time management. So definitely from the start of Chef Fit up to now, I think I've got a lot better with the time management and the organisation of myself.
Yeah.
I can then implement that in other aspects of my life, such as my days off are no longer sleeping in to whatever time and lounging around. I can get up, I can go for a 5K run, have a nice bit of clarity in my head, and do what I need to do for the day, and have a successful day off, where you have a day off and go, I achieved some stuff today, ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah, big time. I think there was a good moment. You did a live video, I think it was probably the end of last week, in the elite group, and you were kind of talking about, it was a really sunny day outside, and you were going for a walk, and it was like, if I hadn't have done Chef Fit, maybe I wouldn't feel like this, where I'm walking, to the gym, and I'm getting my training done, and I'm doing things before work, before I go in, and I'm in a positive frame of mind, and I'm satisfied with what I'm doing. Talk to me about that. Is that one of those things where everyday life, small things are, there's a big difference in the small things you're doing?
Yeah, you find a lot more joy in the smaller, like just those little moments. You find a lot more joy in them, because I was thinking, I'm walking to work, sunny day. I'm going into work where generally you get a lot of negativity and a lot of negative headspace.
Yeah.
So you don't enjoy going in, do you? You think, oh God, what have we got to put up with today? What's happened on my day off? What's happened here? I know what happened this day, and it's going to be a shitstorm, basically.
Totally.
But yeah, on the way into work, and I just thought, well, I know I've got this and this to deal with when I get in, but I'm not too bothered about it. Like, I'm not going to be bothered about it till I get there. So
yeah,
I don't know. I was kind of thinking, if I was walking in and I wasn't a part of Chef Fit and I hadn't put in the work for these past 3 months, how would I feel on that same journey? And I think I would have felt a lot more negative on that journey. But that particular day, I was just walking to work thinking, done the gym, done my 5K, sunny day, ready for a day at work. It was just completely like different headspace entirely.
I think that's like, it's a funny thing. It's a reality that I think a lot of chefs don't even realize is there on the table for them. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're very used to being trapped because you obviously, you know yourself, like you were someone who was extremely fit. And I remember having this same problem when I was in the industry, where it doesn't matter what the background was, you end up falling into this trap and you end up falling into this rut and this state of mind that you end up in, where it's like, you're always pessimistic about things. You're always fucking glasses half empty as opposed to half full. And what's important to realize and hear on what you're saying there is that it is possible, and you can actually have balance in your life, and you can do things that you really enjoy, and you can go into work with a head on your shoulders, energized and motivated and ready to do it, and it doesn't always have to be such a tough slog. It doesn't always have to be such a battle. And if we think about then what's gotten you to that point, like what results did you notice, obviously, other than, you're obviously living a happier life, you're obviously in a much more, a positive space from a physical standpoint, though, Paul? What have we been able to achieve so far?
Well, physical standpoint, yeah, I'm able to run again. Like, I didn't think after my injuries, I didn't think I'd be able to actually run and manage a day at work at the same time. But now I'm finding, because I've lost 8 to 10 kilos, I'm lighter on my knees. I can 5K run. Yeah, I can't drive my knees into the floor and absolute sprint it, but I can run. I can run every day if I want to, and I don't have any issues. My engine, my heart rate, my lung capacity, everything is just, it's firing well. Everything's working really well. So in terms of like health and physical, doing really well. Like I say, lost weight, which I didn't even think I was like an overweight person, but obviously there was weight to lose, so I've lost it. And now
well, I think you've gotten extremely lean, Paul, and I think you've gotten to a point where I don't think the weight, this is something that I've kind of changed in Chef Fit. I think the weight isn't the focus, it's the byproduct.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the byproduct of
doing. For me, yeah.
Go ahead.
I look at so getting more active physically and feeling healthier, nice deep breaths and all the rest of it when I'm running and I'm not like completely gassed all the time. I look at that as the really positive health side, like a really good benefit of Chef Fit. The losing the weight and then looking a bit shredded and lean is like just a byproduct of that, and it's just it's nice to see.
But what's also really, really important to understand here is that because that's not your focus, because it's not just like the dangly carrot of, I want a 6-pack. It's like, what happens when you get the 6-pack then?
When you get sick, I wouldn't care. It's like, what I'm going to do, walk around the beach, my top off for the day in the freezing cold in England. No, I'm not particularly bothered about that at all. I'm looking at goals. I'm looking at, now I'm going to increase. I want to get my 5K time down. I want to try and run some 10Ks. I want to do like a half marathon row on the rowing machine. I want to, there's all kinds of things. It opens up the mind to things that you can do, join in the activities, group activities.
Totally. I really, really want to hone in on that. I really want chefs to focus on that. You need to stop focusing on the surface. The surface will fix itself if you really dive deep into what is the problem. And the problem for a lot of you is the way that you're living your life. Do you know what I mean? And the way that you're living your life is leading to the negativity, and the negativity is leading to inaction. So if you can focus on making your goal, getting my life on track by being healthy and energetic and motivated and active, all of a sudden, it's a chain of reaction where all these things start to happen off the back of that. And I think you're a very, very, very good example of that, Paul, And I think for you then, in retrospect, obviously your journey is far from over, but in retrospect, like, if you had to give advice to a chef who is in that position, who's going, okay, right, I'm a bit skeptical. I'm not too sure. Should I commit to doing something? You know, I'm looking at Chef Fit. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll try something else. You know, what is your advice to them in that situation?
Oh, well, I'm terrible at giving advice, but I would say, I mean, if you're going to commit to anything, just give Chef Fit a try. I mean, moving every day is a wonder in itself. Chef Fit can motivate you to do that. But don't commit to just sitting on the couch and continuing your mundane lifestyle where you're eating terrible foods and stuff. You know, if you need that kick up the arse, Chef Fit definitely gave me that Kickstarter. Every other week I'd be thinking, oh, well, I can get back to training. I was fit once, I can get back to training, but I never did. I needed this as a platform to do that.
Totally. And with that in mind, Paul, what was the difference for you stepping in and being able to make that happen? As you're saying, like, Chef Fit was the platform to achieve what you've been able to achieve and get your life back on track and actually get yourself into a very positive space. What do you think the difference was within Chef Fit that got you to that point, do you think?
The difference in Chef Fit come to that point, it's probably the support and kind of community that you get with it.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, you can still have bad days, but they're not as bad as you think. In your mind are the worst days, and you think, I am rubbish. I'm terrible. But
totally,
in retrospect, get it on the group, get it in there, and the lads will set you straight. They'll be like, you know, no, this is a small bump. You're fine. Tomorrow's another day. And then you have like 3 perfect days. You'll have one day where, I've slipped up, I've ate a Kinder Egg. But the lads will take you straight on that one as well. It's
massive. I think you get what you get with that as well. Like, I can remember specific moments with you where you would be hard on yourself about things, you know, and it's like, all that required, the importance of what Paul is saying here is, like, when you've got a tribe around you, when you've got this environment where you're supported and not only pushed, but like the ability to actually open up and admit something that you've done wrong, and maybe in your mind you've built it up to be something way more than it actually is, when in reality you say it to the lads, and as you did, and it's like, no, you get set straight, like, immediately. You know, and instantaneously you're put back into this positive frame of mind. It's like, oh no, I can do this. I am okay. I can keep pushing. That's vital. That's vital, because you're walking a tightrope, and it's like, you either can walk a tightrope with no handlebars, you know what I mean, by yourself, and just kind of, you know, hope for the best. You probably fall off, or you can walk a tightrope with handlebars, you know, and that's having that environment around you that's going to support you and that's going to drive you through, man. So yeah, no, it is. It's the support and the accountability is massive. I suppose bringing this thing into the harbour then, man. Like, Paul, if you had to describe what Chef Fit's done for you in 3 or 4 sentences, what would you say? On the spot. Come on.
Write this down, wouldn't I? Right. Okay, so it's given me a good positive mental attitude towards working out, living.
Yeah.
So the work-life balance is on point now. It is on point. It has encouraged me to eat healthier, which is only a good thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely got me to cut down on the coffees, which is another good thing. Less caffeine, less shaking through the day.
Yeah.
And it's really taught me to kind of look at myself and how I grow and how I act as a person. You know, how you can be negative around other people and how other people then perceive you is not good. So the second you're positive, you know, it's great. You get nice feedback from people. You find you get along with people a lot better as well. You actually start liking people.
Massively important, hugely important.
Yeah, massively.
You know, with that in mind, chefs, that is Paul Brown's story of basically what's happened the past 3 or 4 months since he started with us, you know, and I hope you take that as inspiration. I hope you understand that the change and the work required to make that change is worth it. It is 110% worth it. And your commitment, like you reap what you sow. And if you put it in, you'll get it out. I guarantee you that. So that in mind, Paul, thanks a million, man. That was awesome.
No worries.
Chefs, stay safe. That's another episode. I will catch you all very soon. Paul, catch you later, man. Okay?
Catch you later, man.
Peace.